Scott. I've been watching you for a while now. You're different. Now, don't let anyone tell you that you have nothing to offer. Second chances don't come around all that often. I suggest you take a really close look at it.
Did you find a sort of personal relationship with Ant-Man simply in that you were joining a project midway through? It seems a lot like Scott Lang's story.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I mean, it's I was a kid who grew up reading Marvel comics from a young age, so I was really hyper familiar with Ant-Man, probably to an insane level. So when you read comics as a kid, you kind of have your own personal relationship with those heroes. So when I came on board, there was stuff that I definitely wanted to bring to the movie and feelings I had about those characters that I wanted to see play out in the movie. So that was it was fun to be able to do, particularly with Michael Douglas playing Hank Pym and Paul Rudd playing Scott Lang. I mean, you can't ask for better casting than that.
One of the other things I really liked about this is the scale of it is much smaller, appropriately for Ant-Man,
Yeah.
but it's about a family rather than necessarily the entire world.
Yeah. I liked that from the get-go about Ant-Man, that it was a much more intimate story. You know, it has these sort of dual father-daughter stories about two guys who have made some bad decisions in their past that have alienated them from their daughters, and both of them had this desire to kind of get back in their daughters' lives. So that was interesting to me because none of the other Marvel movies had really tackled that thematic before.
One of the most fascinating scenes in this is the first scene where we see Michael Douglas and he's digitally de-aged. What is that? It's incredible looking.
We were able to de-age Michael to probably about the age 45. And there's a company called Lola. So what we would do is we'd shoot the scene with Michael with dots on his face. Then we had a guy named Dax, who was a young guy who kind of looked like Michael, and we would have him do the exact same thing. Then we put Michael into a laser scanner and digitally scanned a 3D scan of his face. And through this weird technological combination of things, they would go and de-age him, and I think the effect is it's phenomenal. It's the same people who did the skinny Steve in the first Captain America, who made Chris Evans small and put his head on a body. It's amazing work. Now, I had done a certain amount of visual effects in my TV and movie work, but certainly nothing to this level. But I was always a geeky kid who subscribed to American Cinematographer and Cinefex magazine and things like that, so intellectually I knew a lot about it. So for me, it was something I'd kind of been primed to do for a while and just jumped at the chance. So Marvel just employs the top people in all these sort of visual effects, categories, and we really had to do the definitive shrinking stuff for the year 2015. So the way that we were able to do it technologically just hadn't been done before. I'd wanted to do a movie like this for a long time, sort of a big science fiction, fantasy, superhero thing, and now I've gotten bitten by the ant, and I want to do something else like this.
So this isn't your first superhero. I wanted to ask how it compares to working with the Hooded Avenger from the Weird Al Show.
Wow. Hooded Avenger, for the uninitiated, was a minor character in the Weird Al Show that I directed all 13 episodes of years ago. That's amazing that you know that.
I was watching to get ready for Ant-Man. It got me excited.
So yes, Hooded Avenger was officially my first superhero.
One question. Is it too late to change the name?